going on, people? It's your boy Mac Attack, back at it again with some more boxing news, views, and opinions. Let's get it. We got Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson coming up. I like the way them boys jumped right on into it, didn't waste no time. They could have built it up. They could have said, let's put it on the undercard of Bud versus Spence rematch. They could have said, let's wait on it and let it marinate. They said, nope, let's give the people what they want. So I could appreciate that. Couple other reasons I like the fight too. One of the reasons I like the fight mainly is because you get a chance at redemption, in my eyes, for Derrick James. A lot of people been questioning Derrick James, you know, whether it's his coaching style or whether it's his coaching in general that caused Spence to, you know, lose in the fashion that he lost in. 1 minute you on top, the next minute everybody is questioning whether you should even be there, right? It's not to say that the manner in which Errol Spence lost doesn't raise any questions. It's just to say that it gotta be more there if they had more wins than losses. So we're gonna see how much of it was just Derrick James and how much of it was actually the fighter and the mind frame of the fighter. Because the fact of the matter is this: even with a good coach, the best team on the planet, nobody could get in that ring and fight for you but you. And there's always gonna be a certain amount of thinking that you have to do as a fighter, what they call a ring IQ. So let's get into Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson. I like this fight because I think Frank Martin has a lot more versatile footwork than Errol Spence. He throws punches from a lot of different angles, and he doesn't have to necessarily rock like that pendulum step in order to throw his jabs, which Bud studied, timed, and made into Spence's biggest liability. I seen Frank Martin do a lot of things with his pivot that I like. I seen him throw punches from some different angles. Overall, I seen him box off the back foot. I seen him box going forward, and he's a pretty solid fighter. Now, Shakur Stevenson, we know they consider Shakur a young phenom. So, you know, another thing, one of my criticisms about Shakur in the past has been that the level of competition hasn't been up to par for him. That's something that I criticized Bud about, and you know, when he got in there with Spence, he did his thing. But I will also say this: styles make fights, and there's probably a couple other factors that played into the Errol Spence fight. As far as it goes with Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson, we have two fighters, you know, as prime as they can get right now as far as competition goes. Perfect storm of controversy with both of the biggest fighters from their camps respectively having got into it. If Frank Martin goes out here and, you know, he really gives Shakur a hard time, even if he doesn't win, but he gives him a harder time than we've seen him ever have, or he even makes him look, you know, touchable or whatever, then we will see. But I actually think that Frank Martin could probably pull it off. You know, it all depends if he could keep his stamina level up, if he could not get into that lull, what I call the counterpuncher's lull. Sometimes counterpunchers, they'll make you fight they fight. They'll make you sit there not really throwing punches because you don't want something coming back at you. You know, so you find yourself sitting there thinking, but you can't just sit there. So if you get into that lull and getting picked off by Shakur, it'll be different. But if he could stay, you know, busy and fight his own fight, it should be an interesting fight. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. You could hate, you could like, you could subscribe, you know, do all that. I wanna see what the odds are gonna be. The two camps kind of informally met up for the first time. Shakur Stevenson is not really a Bomac fighter, but he's a Bud Crawford, you know, protege. So let's see how this thing play out, man. I just need y'all to remember this one thing though. You could play games, but you can't play boxing. I'm gone.